Do you want an amazing national park experience, but you hate camping? Don't worry, I've got you covered. Hi, welcome back to my channel. I'm Stephanie, aka The Viatrix, and it's Travel Tuesday, my favorite day of the week. So I've got another Q&A for you today, and this one comes from Megan, who asks, how to plan a great trip to a U.S. national park without roughing it too much? Great question. I know that a lot of times when you think of national parks, you think that might mean that you have to camp. And actually, that is not the case at all. You have a few options, and I'm going to break it down for you today. So the first option would be to stay inside the park at a park lodge. Many of the parks have lodges. A lot of times they're historic, which can be kind of cool. You'll see the sort of timbered ceilings and things like that, which are a lot of fun. I always like at least going into the lodges when I'm there for a snack or peek around the gift shop. Definitely always recommend that, just to check out the architecture. Now, this might not be the most luxurious option, but it's going to be comfortable, and most of all, it's going to be convenient. Usually the lodges are right in the main park area near the visitor center and the trailheads, so it just makes it really, really easy, and you don't have to drive in and out of the park. I've had to do this multiple times, and it's okay, but if you can stay inside the park, even better. The disadvantage, of course, is that it can be busy. You do have people coming in and out like me, going to the gift shop and the snack bar. But if that's not a problem for you, then this is one of the best options. Now, if you want something more luxurious, staying outside of the park is going to be your best bet. You have options all the way from resorts to Airbnbs. So you can definitely find something that works for you. But my main tip with this would be to look closely at where the hotel or the Airbnb is located and how far it is from the park. I was doing some research for this, and you will see lists of the best places to stay near Yellowstone, and half of them are in Jackson. Well, Jackson's just too far away from Yellowstone. It's perfect if you want to go to the Grand Tetons, which is an amazing park that I highly recommend, and it combines wonderfully with Yellowstone, but it's just way too far to be practical if you are wanting to go into Yellowstone multiple times and have a great experience and, really get a full experience in Yellowstone. So just look very closely. If it's more than an hour and a half outside of the park, even that's long, because sometimes Yellowstone's a great example, or Yosemite, you've got to drive a long way into the park to get to the main park areas. So you definitely just want to keep that in mind when you're looking at accommodation. One company that I would recommend checking out is called Under Canvas. They kind of take a luxury safari lodge style. So it's glamping, but I would say it's more safari lodge than glamping even. It's definitely more high end. And they have options near several of the parks. So that would be a first place to look. And I'll put some more options in the blog post that accompanies this video, which I will link in the description box below. Now, my last suggestion is a little bit more out of the box, and it's probably going to be better for doing the national parks as a day excursion, but that would be to combine with a nearby city. There are several cities that have national parks very close. So Seattle, Mount Rainier is about an hour and a half away. Rocky Mountain National Park is about an hour and a half from Denver. You've got the Everglades, are only half an hour from Miami. And then you have some smaller cities like Jackson, which is right outside Grand Teton, Bar Harbor, right outside of Acadia National Park, and Moab, Utah, which is near Arches and Canyonlands, that are great options for visiting those parks as well. So definitely plenty of options if you want to do kind of a city and national park combination visit. Now, my number one tip to keep in mind when you are looking for accommodation for national parks, whether that's camping, staying in a park lodge, staying at a luxury resort, or another place near the national parks, plan as early as you possibly can. Accommodation has always been an issue at these places. Certainly the park accommodation, campgrounds and lodges tend to sell out really early, very quickly, and it can be hard to get space. But post-COVID, the national parks have really exploded in popularity, and it's harder than ever. Also, some of the parks require timed entry, or some of them don't allow cars in certain parts, so you have to take a shuttle. So you're just going to want to make sure you're doing your research and planning early, as early as possible, in order to make sure that you get what you want. So that is what I have for you this week. I hope it was helpful. And I'd love to hear from you. What's your favorite national park? It's hard for me to choose. I've been to many and it's tough. But if you have a favorite, I would love to hear about it. Let me know in the comments below, and I will catch you next week on another Travel Tuesday. Ciao for now.